I mean, we're seeing everything the left tells us, everything they sell us turns out to be untrue. So remember when Trump said that he had been wiretapped in Trump Tower, and there's, he was lying. They actually had on CNN, they had like chyrons, Trump lies, Trump lies. They had James Clapper on, former director of national intelligence, right? So let's just go back in time for a minute. James Clapper sits in front of, I believe it was the Senate committee, and he lies about NSA gatherings. So this is Clapper in 2013. I'll tell you which number it is. It's number 6. In 2013, and here he is lying in front of the Senate. Yes.
So what I wanted to see is if you could give me a yes or no answer to the question, does the NSA collect any type of data at all on millions or hundreds of millions of Americans?
No, sir.
It does not.
Not wittingly. There are cases where they could inadvertently, perhaps, collect, but not wittingly.
Okay, so now we know this is untrue, right? We know there's this huge program where they were collecting all this information, all this data. So now in March, he's on Meet the Press, and they ask him whether it's possible that they ask him whether there were any FISA taps on Trump, and what is it possible Trump is telling the truth? So this is cut 5.
Obviously, I can't speak officially anymore, but I will say that for the part of the national security apparatus that I oversaw as DNI, there was no such wiretap activity mounted against the president-elect at the time, or as a candidate, or against his campaign. I can't speak for other Title III authorized entities in the government or a state or local entity.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if the FBI, for instance, had a FISA court order of some sort for a surveillance, would that be information you would know or not know?
Yes.
You would be told this?
I would know that.
If there was a FISA court order
Yes.
on something like this?
Something like this, absolutely.
And at this point, you can't confirm or deny whether that exists?
I can deny it.
Okay, so now it's the guy we already know he lies, right? Now he denies this thing, and now CNN comes out with an exclusive report saying that there was, in fact, an FBI FISA wiretap on Paul Manafort, who was, for briefly, Trump's campaign manager, who lives in Trump Tower, who undoubtedly spoke with Trump. And it's not just him. I mean, they were wiretap. They tapped Trump advisors Carter Page, Michael Flynn, and all these guys. So now Don Lemon has Clapper on and says, you want to, confirm what you said? And Clapper keeps saying, I confirm it, but he really doesn't. Here he is.
Is it possible the president was picked up in a conversation with Paul Manafort?
It's certainly conceivable. Yeah,
Is it likely?
I can't say. I wouldn't want to go there, but I will say it's possible.
I mean, the left is living in a fantasy world, and every time something breaks through it, that's when they get violent. Now there's a report that Samantha Power, the former U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, was unmasking people, when they would tap your phone, and you would get caught up in this conversation. An American would get caught up in a conversation that was being legally tapped. You're not supposed to unmask that. Samantha Power, she was the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. She had no reason to unmask anybody. She was unmasking at such a rapid pace in the final months of the Obama administration that she averaged more than one request for every working day in 2016. These guys were running a game on the Trump campaign. The government of the United States was running a game on a candidate for president.